with the Green Bay Packers. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got into the... .35, they'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And Winston lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 2nd and 7. Now Rodgers. And his throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Jones will score. Touchdown, Packers. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Here's Cohen now to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? From the 29, Winston, and his pass incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Winston. But he's got his target, Harris. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
It's a give to the right, Ingram. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Here's Winston. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Charles, a tough task ahead for this defense, trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. What would you be trying to do?
I would think about selective pressure, Brandon, and what I mean by that is he's going to eat you up if you blitz him too often because he'll read that and go to the man coverage patterns. But every now and then you bring that pressure at him, make him deliver the ball on time. It's when he keeps the ball, maneuvers out of the pocket, and throws deep, that's when you're in big trouble.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now it's Rodgers. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. McCann's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Off the play fake, Winston. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Winston. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. McCann for the point after. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taysom Hill to return it. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. And the Saints not only missing Drew Brees from last year, they also lost their top tight end, Jared Cook, to the Chargers. So tight end, it's a position in flux, but that's a nice grab there to pick up the 1st down.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Packersons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's got his man here, Beasley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's Rodgers. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. To throw, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll run here with Dillon, and he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. On play action, it's Rodgers. The quick slant caught. On the touchdown. Robert Tonyan from 3 yards out. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. The return man is Hill. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. From the 36, Winston going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On 4th down, the Saints bring on their new punter for 2021, Blake Gillikin, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Final play of the half here, Winston. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll toss to Jones running left. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for Green Bay. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Now left side on the swing pass. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Dillon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. They just put it well.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Pete Werner brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. McCann's kick up and good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, Winston. They'll roll him out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the rookie Eric Stokes. There he goes left side. The 30. 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. McCann now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Winston. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Winston now to throw on first down. Going deep here for Stills.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
They'll throw again. Winston. Complete. It's Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, Ingram again.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On third down, Mark Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Mark Ingram, an 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the fourth quarter.
And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And, yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. On play action, Rodgers. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Jones. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed and being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Packers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
Got a man. It's Tunyon.
A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses? So glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
Man, what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it. Still doing it at a high level. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll go again to Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. The Saints say they have it, and they do. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. He's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. And they take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here.